I'm back. In the world of nursing school, I have a big test today in terminology, and so when I'm finished with this video, I have to study for that. Um, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning, school starts in an hour, and so I'm going to use my time while I'm here to study. I also have a seminar class today, which we will be doing a presentation. It's about nursing competencies and the things that they define competency as. So as a group project, we have to give a presentation on that. So I spent a lot of yesterday typing up our speaking parts. We did it old school poster board, could have done a PowerPoint, but none of us were really technologically comfortable doing that, although I'm sure I could have figured it out. Time management is always important too, so that didn't happen. Week 4, it's been a rough week, and it's only Thursday. My weeks are very busy. 4 cleaning jobs this week for my cleaning business, on top of still full-time school Monday through Friday. Thursdays are transition days, so we'll have our middle daughter coming home today from her father's. My stepson leaves today to go with his mother for the weekend. And so transition days for everybody are rough. When one kid leaves, we miss them immediately. We get excited for another kid coming back. And then sometimes there are added behaviors in there, either from us or from kids. Dealing with co-parenting with other parents is never easy. It can be easy. It's not always in our situations, but we make the best of it if we can. We try not to let our own feelings and emotions play off on how we're dealing with the kids, because obviously they have not chosen for their parents to not stay or be together, and they're not choosing their parents' partners and the parents that they're given. So we just try to keep things as smooth as possible. It's not always easy, with everything that I or we as parents have to deal with. It's just not easy. Summer vacation, the kids are home all the time. We've got kids. Our oldest came back from Vermont. She was there for a couple weeks visiting. My best friend lives there. Her daughter is my daughter's best friend. So they got to spend some time together. It's really the only time through the year that they get to spend together. So her being 13 and it being my best friend, I allow her to go up there and spend time. Our middle daughter spent some time in Vermont with her paternal grandparents for a couple weeks, came back. So they're here, there, and everywhere. Summer school, preparations for band camp in a couple of weeks, summer camp starting in a couple weeks. Life is busy, and so we were just having a discussion in school this week about, classmates were talking about how it's a really fast-paced course. I'm in an accelerated LPN program. All of the classes go very quickly. You go from one subject to the next very, very quickly. We have tests every week, and so people were generally complaining about how fast-paced it is, but unfortunately that's what we signed up for. So you have to prioritize your time, and unfortunately in my situation with everything that I have going on, that means that when I got out of school yesterday, I had to not only change my schedule. I was supposed to do a cleaning job right from school yesterday. I have now changed that cleaning job to today after school. I really needed yesterday to tie up loose ends on that project. All of that typing I had to do, it was 5 separate parts. For our speaking parts, we each have to speak for 2 minutes, so I typed all of that up. That took a little while. And then studying for this terminology test. So not only did I reschedule the cleaning job that I had, but I also had to go right from school to the library. I was there over an hour. And then when I got home, even still, another couple hours of studying in the basement away from the family, that I wasn't spending time with them. And so realistically, when I was finished, I had dinner with everybody, probably hung out for a half an hour, and I went to bed. The other part of prioritizing my time is prioritizing getting restful sleep. So in the past, I never really prioritized sleep. That came last. That was the thing that I would squeeze it in, or there's a crazy bird out here, or, you know, would go to bed just when I was exhausted. And if I needed to get up in a couple hours to go to work, I was up and going to work. Now, when I'm in school and doing all of these things, I really, really need to get restful sleep. So by 9 o'clock at night, I'm kaput. Nate is very supportive of that, as are the kids. I go to bed before everybody. And so by 9 o'clock at night, I'm in bed. I fall asleep almost instantly, and I get up in the morning between 4:30 and 5:30. Today I woke up before the alarm. I got up at 4:30. I was able to go back into the basement. We have a office slash, I call it the craft room, although no crafts get done down there because I don't have time to do any of them. And did some more studying for an hour, then got ready, then left for the day. So I prioritized the sleep, and, you know, they recognize that, and they realize that I need it. I need it to be able to remember all of the things that I'm learning. I need it to be able to function. I need it to be able to keep the clarity, so that I can remember what I'm doing, where I've been, what I have left to do. Multiple lists of things that need to get done, but if that's what I need to do to get through this program, then that's what I have to do. And we talk about it. We actually did sit together for half an hour, 45 minutes when I came home from the library before I went downstairs to study, and just had a conversation about getting back on the same page. What are we getting done for the day? What do we want to get done in the next couple of days? How is it going to get done? Just spending time together and touching base with each other, because we also need to prioritize keeping a strong relationship. It's not easy for me to be away from home sometimes up to 16, 17, 18 hours a day and only coming home to sleep. That happens on the weekend when I work these double shifts, Friday and Saturday. I work a double shift, third and first shift, Friday night. I come home. By the time I get home, I have 6 hours to sleep, and then I have to get up and go back in for another double shift. So it makes sense for us to be on the same page, to recognize what each other is doing, to, encourage each other. And so really that's how we're making sure that we're getting through this, because this is only the 4th week, and there are 66 more to go. And so if we don't touch base with each other time to time when we need to or when we want to, then that relationship can get lost in there. It's difficult with all of the other relationships, like I said before, I don't talk to my best friend on the phone every day anymore. It's hard to catch each other, because the ideal time before was 1:30 in the afternoon when I was getting out of work. She was pretty much always readily available for a phone conversation. Now I get out of school at 2:30. That's a busier time of day, and so we're not catching each other on the phone anymore. And that relationship isn't lost. I know that she's there. She knows that I'm there. But that support system, you need to foster those good relationships. If I had time right now, I would call my mom or my sister. They might not be awake yet. I did send my sister a text message this morning to touch base with her about some things that I was thinking about, and she'll respond to me when she gets the message or has time. And so that will, keep that relationship going. So again, another thing to prioritize. And like I said also before, if I'm going to make these videos, it's beneficial to other relationships. People can see what's going on. They're interested. They want to know. If you're not interested, fine, don't watch it. But my kids can also watch these videos. and see what I'm up to, what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing, how I feel about everything that's going on. You know, I don't feel good about not being able to spend time with my kids. Prior to starting this program, we had discussed and we're prioritizing each taking time to spend time with each of our kids individually, either weekly, daily, as we could. And I really can't even do that now. I prioritize school, work, sleeping. When I get home, I definitely touch base with everybody and try to have a couple minute conversation with everybody and, you know, cuddle my toddler. But this is a short term goal, and it's 66 more weeks. You know, I just need to get through this, and then I'm going to take that exit exam, and then I'm going to take that NCLEX exam, and then I'm going to be an LPN. And that will, you know, that's the goal. That's the end goal of all of this. So as long as I can get through it day by day, moment by moment, if I have to, assignment by assignment, test by test, we'll be okay. And so it has been difficult this week. Emotions are high, kids are coming and going. We all miss each other greatly. And, you know, you just get through the best you can. Not having any difficulties dealing with my sobriety. I mean, it pops into my head because it's a reality for me, but I'm not driving by the package store thinking, I wish I was going in there or anything like that. That's not an issue for me. It's more of, I know where I can fit things into the day and how to prioritize the time, but am I going to actually sit down and do my assignment, or am I going to sit and get lost scrolling Instagram or Facebook? I mean, that can be a big deal. And when I'm looking at copies of the speaking parts for my presentation to type up for somebody else, and it was texted to me and I have a picture of it, it's really hard not to switch screens and say that I need a break and go start scrolling again. So that happened. You do need a mental break, but it's just prioritizing the time. So, but all in all, things are great. I'm getting good grades, A's and everything. I did get 189 on my English test with silly mistakes. I'm not going to cry about it. All of these classes are pass-fail. And so everything's really, really good. And, you know, we're on countdown to wedding, which will be Halloween. And we're just getting through day by day. So it's good. It's really good. And, you know, thank you to everybody that likes on my daily photos or posts, or just gives me words of encouragement, or steals my flashcards to their med cart and quizzes me on my terminology during their med pass. All of those things help and are appreciated. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I needed to get some things off my chest and explain. I'm probably just more talking to myself than anything on all of these things, but even doing that, you know, makes me feel better about how I feel, and gives me a little bit of clarity to start the day. So thanks for listening.